I'm ready. I'm gonna upset the world.
There's a fundamental difference between me and Jake. He's a manufactured killer. Television and papers made him a killer. He's manufactured. I'm a natural-born killer.
Mike Tyson just reacted, or rather, burst out laughing at Jake Paul's latest training footage. Honestly, it's hard to watch. Paul looks like a clueless kid picking up dumbbells for the first time. Can you believe it?
His head is up when he's punching.
Same thing. Yeah, 1, 2. There you go.
Good.
With just 2 days left until the fight, he's out here struggling with the most basic weights, looking more like a fitness influencer posing for content than a serious fighter.
Exciting, and there's not as much glitz and glamour around it anymore, and I would say this is the hardest camp. Just sparring 300-pound guys.
Maybe, just maybe, if Jake had spent more time actually training instead of vlogging his every move for followers, things might have turned out differently. But hey, it's too late to cry over spilled milk now. The clock's ticking, and Tyson's locked in, ready to unleash punches that could rattle bones. Jake better brace himself because there's no turning back. The only thing waiting for him in that ring is a savage Tyson beat.
Jogs, weighing 220 pounds. All the miles, all the work at the track is a lot more difficult than running around weighing 205 pounds. So this is definitely the hardest I've pushed myself mentally.
Jake Paul is at it again, and this time, he might have truly outdone himself. We're just days away from November 15th, 2024, when he steps into the ring with none other than the living legend, Mike Tyson. And honestly, you have to ask, what on earth is this guy thinking? Jake's moving like a social media influencer who accidentally signed up for a real fight. If anyone needed a reminder that clout chasing has its limits, well, here it is. Meanwhile, Mike Tyson, pushing 60, is training like a man half his age. His prep is nothing short of insane. Early morning road work, 6-hour sessions, and strength conditioning intense enough to break your average gym bro in half.
Cold-blooded assassin. He's a machine.
There you go.
And Jake has not come up against that. It's a dark place in there, that ring. A lot of things can happen.
Tyson's out there grinding squats, resistance training, explosive lunges, turning his legs into pure sledgehammers, and those legendary left hooks. Still just as vicious, still capable of making grown men flinch. You can tell this isn't just some exhibition match for him. It's about legacy. It's about proving that you don't poke a predator and expect a soft landing. There's no fluff in Tyson's camp. No gimmicks, no distractions. Just raw, brutal preparation.
Mike is the baddest man on the planet. Raphael is the baddest trainer on the planet.
You can see. You can see.
When I put Jake in deeper waters, where let's make you feel uncomfortable at the beginning to the end of the fight.
Now flip the script to Jake Paul, a guy who genuinely seems to believe he can fake his way through this. His training footage, pure comedy. Watching him throw punches at thin air with the swagger of a TikTok star who thinks he's Muhammad Ali is almost painful. He's been trying to cut down from 220 to 205 pounds like a college kid, crash dieting before spring break, and it shows. Meanwhile, Tyson's body is a fortress, forged and reforged through decades of grit, pain, and sacrifice. Jake, his biggest battle seems to be keeping his ego in check. He keeps hyping up his grueling training schedule, yet somehow still finds time to promote his new clothing line. Priorities, right? If selling merch is high on your list days before stepping into the ring with one of the most dangerous men in boxing history, you've got serious problems.
But I know that come fight night, it's gonna be the old Mike Tyson, the warrior Mike Tyson, getting back to doing what he does best, which is annihilate people. When you've done that for so long, it's gonna be second nature for him when the bell rings.
Jake's idea of sacrifice is honestly laughable. He brags about taking a month off after his last fight like that's supposed to impress anyone. Tyson's probably rolling his eyes. Back in his prime, Tyson's version of sacrifice wasn't a vacation, it was years of relentless soul-crushing training camps. He gave up everything to become the beast he was. That's real sacrifice.
And so he needed a break. And so we took a month off, got right back in there, and now we're getting ready for Mike. And we're not as heavy as we were before, which is a plus for us. I didn't want us to go back up, but you can guarantee he's going to be ready to fight.
Jake can't seem to decide if he wants to be a boxer or a businessman. His training camp is half-hearted at best. Part gym, part influencer hustle, complete with brand partnerships and Instagram-ready workout clips. This is the guy who thinks He can go toe-to-toe with Mike Tyson, a man who used to make opponents regret ever lacing up gloves. Come on, let's not ignore the sheer level of delusion here. Jake's been strutting around, dropping lines about how he's built differently. Built for what? Clickbait? Tyson earned every ounce of his respect through blood, sweat, and pain. Jake's journey has been paved with YouTube drama, staged pranks, and self-promotion. He's famous for being famous, not for any proven skill. While Tyson is out here destroying sparring partners, guys who might need therapy after taking his punches, Jake's busy trying to look tough for the camera.
Like, oh, Jake gets hit with a bare knuckle. Mike Tyson, this thing's over. And I saw Mike Tyson on an interview with Henry Cejudo. He's like, what is age? They tell you you're that old, but I don't feel 50. You're like, oh, okay, this is it.
But maybe the funniest part of all this, Jake Paul genuinely thinks he's a threat. You can see it in his perfectly staged training clips, flailing his arms like he's reinventing the sport of boxing. His coaches hype him up, sure, but deep down, you have to wonder if even they believe the act. Meanwhile, Tyson has been openly mocking Jake's delusions. To Mike, this isn't a challenge, it's a side hustle. He's going to walk in, handle business, and walk out while Jake's left, trying to figure out what just hit him. The age difference, completely irrelevant. Tyson's power doesn't age. His presence alone is enough to send chills down a grown man's spine. Jake's version of intimidation? It's about as convincing as a kid clomping around in his dad's work boots.
You've had a chance to assess Jake Paul. What do you think of his boxing ability?
I think he's came a long way from YouTube. And listen, I seen a YouTube of him at 16 doing weird dances. That's not the guy I'm going to be fighting. This guy's going to come, he's going to try to hurt me, which I'm accustomed to, and he's going to be greatly mistaken.
Jake Paul must really think he's something special. After all, he's managed to go from YouTube nuisance to let's just call it what it is. He's a wannabe boxer drowning in his own hype. But Mike Tyson has seen enough loud-mouthed newcomers in this sport to know who's real and who's just faking it for views and likes. Usain, the baddest man on the planet, saw Jake's latest training video, and you can practically hear the eye roll in his reaction. Sure, he gave a half nod to Paul's improvements, but that's like applauding a goldfish for figuring out how to swim. Usain doesn't care about Jake's so-called transformation from internet clown to self-proclaimed fighter. To him, Jake's just another pretender trying to act tough in a world that eats fakes alive. Jake's biggest mistake, thinking he can step into a ring with Mike Tyson and walk out with anything other than a shattered ego and probably a broken face.
I love you, man. And boxing thanks you for all you've brought to the sport. You're an icon, you're a legend. I look up to you, I'm inspired by you, and I know you're gonna bring an amazing fight and put it all on the line, but no matter what you do, you can't beat me.
Mike Tyson, even at 58, is still training like a man possessed. A beast with something to prove. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is busy snapping Instagram selfies and promoting his latest cringeworthy business ventures. While Jake plays entrepreneur, Tyson's grinding road work at dawn. Gym sessions that leave grown men in pieces. Strength and conditioning that would make your average fitness influencer tap out in tears. Tyson doesn't do anything halfway. His entire life has been built on raw, unforgiving dedication, not whatever watered-down version of boxing Jake Paul thinks he's mastered. Yasin's punches still sound like thunder, and his sparring partners. They leave the gym with a whole new understanding of what pain really feels like.
And with the utmost respect, I'm gonna f you up.
Now let's roast Jake Paul for a minute, because honestly, he's earned every bit of it. This guy actually believes he can rely on his stamina to outlast Mike Tyson. The delusion is almost impressive. Experts have weighed in, and the verdict is brutal. Teddy Atlas didn't sugarcoat it. Jake's only shot is praying Tyson gets tired. That's not a strategy. That's a desperate hope. The kind only an overconfident fool would cling to. Tyson's power is no joke, and even Joe Rogan can't stop talking about how terrifying those punches still are. If Jake doesn't start taking this seriously, he's going to end up on the wrong side of a viral knockout one that won't look too good on TikTok, no matter what filter he throws on it.
I train every day.
Okay, how many hours a day you training?
I take it serious. Listen. Well, listen, it's the whole day. The process goes through the whole day. I get up in the morning, do the road work. Then I go to the gym at 1. Then I go to the strength and conditioning guy. Then it starts all over again.
Let's be real, Jake Paul can't even pretend he's not scared. And you better believe Mike Tyson sees right through the act. Even Russell Crowe, yes, that Russell Crowe, who's at least played a fighter can spot the fear. He openly doubts Jake could last 8 rounds with a legend like Tyson. Roy Jones Jr. tries to be polite, giving Jake credit for improving. But let's not get carried away. Better doesn't mean ready. Jake's skills are child's play compared to Tyson's decades of trench warfare in the ring. It's like comparing a plastic toy sword to a battle-hardened gladiator. Sure, Jake's improved, but he's still light years from being anything Tyson would even consider a real threat. And the best part, Tyson's sarcasm isn't even subtle. He's practically laughing at how weak Jake's journey looks next to his own. Tyson has lost more brutal fights, endured more pain, and clawed his way back from darker places than Jake Paul could even comprehend. But Jake, he's too busy pretending to be a fighter, treating boxing like just another brand-building opportunity. The problem is, this sport doesn't tolerate pretenders. It devours them. And Tyson knows exactly what's coming. Jake's not gearing up for a fight, he's heading straight into the biggest reality check of his life.